welcome back to another episode of Two Peas Potting, our bookish podcast with, well, if you listen to last week's episode, a lot of judgment.
A lot of judgment. Not even a
This
side
one,
at this
I
point.
think, will
It's
only
just
be like a
judgment.
little seasoning on top of judgment.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This one wasn't bad.
I agree. And if you don't remember who is who, I am
Sam.
Kylie.
And I'm excited
Today,
about this one.
oh my God, I loved this book. I finished it
You
so
did.
fast. We are covering The Gingerbread Bakery.
By Laurie Gilmore. It is so cute. Have you seen
The cover alone, like,
Have you seen it? I don't know. I can't remember if it was Walmart or if it's Target. But one of them has like a special edition of that book. So it has like gold foiling and it's cute. I
yeah,
think it's Target.
I think I
Yeah.
saw that Target. Yeah, I think it was Target. They tend to do that cutesy stuff a lot
Yeah.
more than Walmart does. I did get this copy at Walmart though.
Hey,
Black Friday.
Walmart is stepping up their game on their book section. It's getting
They
there.
are.
But
It's
I
looking
know.
real good over there. So I
I
was
thought about
okay.
getting it, but then I was like, it's available on Kindle. Like, I don't need another. I need to save space on my shelf for the books I can't get on Kindle Unlimited. So
Yes. Okay, so in my defense, when I bought this, the first time I noticed that it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited at the time. And so I was like, oh, well, shit. And then I bought it, and then I go on my Kindle, and then it's free.
Dang
I
it.
was all, really? Really? But it's okay. I think having the physical book is what made me read it so
I
fast.
dragged pretty slowly on this one.
You did. I was like, I got really worried that you didn't like it. And I was like, oh no, she doesn't like it. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
No, I did. I just also like there's just a lot has been going on in the last couple weeks. So I haven't
Yeah, you've had a busy,
yeah.
you've been, you alone.
So
Mine has slowed down, but
yeah,
yours
mine's
is
just
gaining
picking up.
traction.
It's okay. After this week I'm gonna be doing nothing for 2 weeks. So it's
Yes.
not by choice, but you know.
Yes. That's very true.
But but yeah, no, I did like it, but I don't know why. Normally, when I'm reading books, and if I read them at night, like, you know how people say, like, oh, read books to get tired. That never works for me. I'm always like, oh, I gotta keep reading. And I don't know what it is. Because, like, the book was good, and I was into it, and I want to know what happened. But I'm, like, sitting there in bed trying to read, and I'm like, can't keep my eyes open. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is, like, a good part. Like, I want to know what happened, but, like, I physically could not keep my eyes open.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I didn't get that way with this book. Well, I kind of did. My eyes got tired because they were just starting to hurt. But I was just like speed reading through it. I needed to know how it ended.
I think it's just because, like, I'm just so sick of reading on my Kindle.
I get it. I've been going pretty slow on the book that we're covering next week.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how quickly I do that one because I have
it's on my
physical stuff.
Yeah, you're probably gonna blow through it like you did the pumpkin spice and everything. Nice.
We'll sit down and read it in the night.
I mean, maybe. Oh gosh. I loved this book.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was cute.
It was so cute.
Definitely a slow burn, second chance romance.
It was a slow burn. It
Really?
was. It was. It was, honestly, it felt more like a hate burn because, oh God, what was her name?
Anna?
Annie.
Yeah.
Her hatred, Annie. Her hatred for, I forgot
Mac?
his name too. Thank you. Her hatred for Mac was so deep.
It also, like, I don't know. I don't feel like it was fully justified.
I think it was justified for her, 18-year-old self when
19.
it happened?
Yeah, but like holding on to it for that
19.
long.
She had a grudge for
But
sure.
yeah, she held grudges like nobody's business.
I mean, she did. I felt okay. So I did think holding on to the grudge for that long was a little maybe unwarranted and not necessary. I get that he broke your heart. I understand that. But I don't know. If you see that he's a changed guy, why not just give him a chance as just a
Well,
friend first.
I don't know. For me, like, I am such the person, like, if you're gonna fucking pull shit like that, no, you're gonna talk to me and you're gonna explain yourself. Like, I have to know why. And for her to be like, don't talk to me, I don't wanna know, I don't care. I was like, no, bitch, I wanna know.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd wanna know too. I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, give me your reasoning as to why you did what you did," type of deal, because, like, you owe me at least that. Like, give me an explanation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So that's where I agree with you on that one. And yeah, well, and let's start from the beginning, actually. She hated him before
Since
she
like
started to like him
kindergarten.
because she was mean to her best friend.
Since like kindergarten. She had this fucking
It
loathing.
was
Loathed him.
because he was mean to her best friend, which was like, that was cute, but I don't know. If you didn't think it was that deep for me to hate somebody that was mean to you, I'd be like, okay, fine, but I'm not gonna like them. Doesn't mean I have to hate them.
Yeah, we don't have to be friends. You're just kind of there.
But, like, loathing somebody, be like, "Oh
Like,
god, it's you." And be like, "Why do you hate me?" "'Cause you were mean to
in
my best
kindergarten.
friend in kindergarten."
You bullied him one
Oh
time.
god.
I mean,
I thought his reaction was really funny when he was all, "Really? That's the reason you hate me?" And he took her phone and apologized.
I would know, like, I would know how to react if someone told me, like, that was, like, the reason they disliked me so much. I'd be like, that sounds like a you problem. I don't know.
I yeah, I think I would just have a really dumbfounded look on my face, like, "Oh, that's why you hate me so much? Is because, like, one time 15 years ago, I was mean
More
to your
than
best friend."
that, at the point in the well, okay, when they were 19 and resolved that. Okay, fine. 15 years, but
Yeah.
still. So, so this book is about Annie and she owns the Gingerbread Bakery in Dream Harbor and the whole like plot of the story is she is a bridesmaid to Jeannie and Logan and they're getting ready for their like wedding weekend and Mac is one of Logan's groomsmen.
Mhm.
And
And Jeannie and Logan, if you've read the series, they're the 2 main characters in, Pumpkin Spice Cafe. That's what it's called, right?
yeah,
I'm
I
reading it right
hated that
now.
one.
This book made me wanna just start the series because I was like, "Okay, I kinda wanna know all these people."
That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's who they are.
And so I think you start and it's their like rehearsal dinner or something is like in the first few chapters. And
It was like the rehearsal
yeah, it was
lunch.
like a
It was like the day
pre
before rehearsal dinner.
like almost like an engagement party, but right before the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was literally Jeannie and Logan just wanted
Bridal
the,
party.
bridal party for, like, a brunch of
Just to
some
like
sort.
hang out. And
Yeah.
Annie is there like completely mean mugging Mac the entire time. And I don't remember like Mac makes a comment and then Annie makes some like snide like, oh, you probably won't even show up comment because she's bitter.
I think she was super bitter. I think he was making a speech for Logan and talking about their friendship, and
She's like, you bullied
she did
him.
an Annie thing and, like
You
yeah.
weren't even friends with him.
You didn't even go here.
And then they like start arguing and fighting, and Jeannie cries, and they're like, "You guys just need to get along for one weekend." And I'm also just kind of like, how did y'all know that they didn't like each other prior to right now? Like, how did this not become a problem? Because it's not like typical like bridal parties where like everyone has lived somewhere else. Like, no, they all live in the same fucking town.
Well, that is kind of funny that you mentioned that because they did know because Mac had been back at
Yeah,
this point for 3 years now in Dream Harbor, and in those 3 years, he had been trying to talk to Annie, and as the story progresses, it goes back and forth between present day and the past, and in the present day, he talks about how many times he's tried to, like, talk to Annie and explain everything. That's all he was trying to do, was just explain himself. She wanted nothing to do with it, And he said it was just too hard to avoid each other because now they ran in the same circle because he was friends with Logan. Logan's her best friend. And so, like, they always ran into each other, but she would, like, avoid him like the
Yeah.
plague, basically,
And none of the friends knew why she hated him so.
because she wouldn't tell them. I think did Logan know? Logan, I think, was the only one that
Yeah.
actually knew. Yeah, Logan and Hazel.
No, Hazel didn't
Or
know.
nope, just Logan.
And so they're just like, you need to get along for at least a weekend because this is ridiculous and this is my wedding and blah 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 blah. Fair. Yeah. Get over it. It's not about you, basically.
Well, and I don't know why she wouldn't do that to start with, knowing that this wasn't about her and it was for
Well,
her
and
best
that's what
friend's
I don't
wedding. Like,
understand
get
because
over
like the way the author like made her sound, like, oh, she does everything for her friends. She tries to make things perfect for her friends and is always there and this, that, and the other thing. But then she was behaving that way. I was like, it's like a conflict of what you're saying. Like her character trait
Yeah,
is, you know?
yeah,
So then she's like, fine, fine, fine. Like, I'll be good, basically. And so as like the story is going on, Mac in present day, he's like being like, oh, like I'm just gonna fuck with you now because I know this is gonna piss you off, and me being able to piss you off and get some reaction out of you is better than not interacting with you at all.
yeah. Which, is such a guy
Yes,
move, you know?
such a guy thing to do. Um,
It really is.
but we quickly bounce to the past, and it's Mac and Annie, pretty fresh out of high school. They're 19 now, and it's Christmas time, and they're the only ones in town. All their friends are out of town because they've been in college and they're not back home yet.
Mhm.
And
It was their first semester
yeah,
out of high school.
and I can't remember where they were. They were at like the Christmas,
It was a Christmas market
but I can't remember what made them talk.
because, well, Annie
Oh,
was,
I
she had her little
remember. Yeah.
cookie booth set up, and he was looking for a Christmas present for his
Yeah.
mom, and he happened to see her booth and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go
And
see
he's like, I'm gonna
Annie."
go see this girl who sat in front of me in English or math or whatever it was all of senior year, but barely talked to me. And she's like, what are you doing in my booth? And he's like, I
Which is
just
so
wanted to
funny.
come say hi and get some cookies that kind of sounded good. Well, I don't want to give you any.
Like, that sounds
And he's like, I literally will buy them. And she's like, no, fuck you.
and then she's like, "Okay, fine, I guess if you're gonna pay for a cookie, then get one," and then somehow they start talking more and more. Oh, that's when he asks her why she hated him so much, and she's like, "Because you were mean to Logan."
No, 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 it wasn't at that point. So they were talking, and then he ate the cookie and he complimented her, like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then she was talking about how she wants to, like, make her cookie business. And he's like, we should hang out later.
Mm,
And she's like,
right.
why would we do that? What is the reason? Because I don't know. And he's like, well, you know, because like your friends aren't here, my friends aren't here, so we might as well like hang out with somebody until our friends get here. And she was like, all right, yeah, that sounds legit. And they ended up going to the diner, and that's when he brought it up because they were sitting
That's
across the
right,
booth from
okay.
one another.
Okay, yeah, that's
And then
right.
he took her phone and texted
And then
Logan.
he took her phone and texted. Oh.
We're like, hey man, I'm sorry. And he's like, what?
He's like, "Okay, sure. It's forgiven."
Also very
If Logan didn't care, why do
so
you
bad.
care so much, Annie?
Like he forgot about it.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, water under the
It's
bridge,
not
dude."
that deep.
For Annie, it definitely
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Oh, yeah, so they started to hang out, and, they did all the first thing that they did was, like, the Christmas lights
Oh yeah, on the
tour.
bus.
Which Yeah, which sounds like that would be a lot of fun, to
Hmm.
be quite honest.
We do that here.
Like, I would love.
Yeah, well, I don't
Really?
know if we're gonna do it this year, but last year, they had like a special bus tour just for us at work, and we could like take our families, and it was free. And so we were on, like, a comfy little
So
bus,
homecoming.
and we drove around and looked at Christmas lights, and it was pretty cool.
Ugh, I wish I would've known that, like, a couple years ago when I was out there for the
Right?
holidays.
They also do a trolley, but that one you have to pay for.
Oh, that makes sense, but that's kinda cool, a
Yeah, but I've
trolley.
heard it's not very good because it's too cold outside, and then all the windows fog up, and you can't see anything.
That checks out. That really checks out. Oh
But yeah,
god. But yeah, so they did this Christmas bus tour thingy, Christmas lights tour, and Annie was making fun of Logan because he was not dressed appropriately for the weather, which if you're from this town, you should probably know how to
well,
dress for the
yeah, because
cold.
he's lived there his whole life.
That's my point.
No, okay,
That's like the winter here sometimes when it's like you're not dressing properly. It's like, but it gets pretty chilly here.
but I
So
feel like it was like it but okay. I feel like it checked out with his personality because he's like, "Oh, I gotta be the cool guy. I can't wear gloves or a hat. Can't wear a beanie.
yeah, that's true. Because he was a former
Mm,
jock. So he was Mr. Popular in high
Can't wear a
school.
beanie."
I imagine him wearing his like Letterman jacket.
Really?
Yeah, that's just how I picture. I don't know why, but that's just what I was picturing. I think it's because the moment that I read that he was a jock, I was like, "Oh, he's for sure wearing a Letterman jacket."
Can't wear anything else. It's only that.
I mean, I guess my brain is stuck in like 90s high school, so that's just what I see for every jock and every anything. I'm just like, "Yep,
Letterman
Letterman
jacket,
jacket."
that's what you're wearing. And, a beanie doesn't go with that, so
Uh,
can't wear a beanie or gloves.
no.
Uh,
And so she like is all cute and she warms up his hands because she came prepared. She was dressed in the nines and all the warm
True.
clothes, and she was, like, warming up his hands, and he felt like a little spark of electricity. He's like, "Oh my god.
I think I like
Whoa.
her.
Like, she's touching me willingly? She is touching
She
me."
is me? She's so beautiful. Like, why does she want anything to do with me?
Yeah, and then, like, yeah, his inner monologue is like, "How did I not notice her in high school?" And so, now you're noticing how cute and spunky and everything she is? Like, she's hated you for so long. You should have already known how spunky she was.
Well, maybe that's why he did it, because like she was always just like, "Fuck you, don't talk to me," and he's like, "Okay, fine. I won't even look in your direction."
That doesn't always that doesn't always work.
But if it's been a grudge that someone's had since
With a
kindergarten, at that point I'd be like, "All right,
Yeah.
whatever."
At that point, I think I would have done what Mac did and just kinda, like, fucked with her and been like, "You hate me so much, might as well."
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, if I leave you alone or don't leave you alone, I'm just gonna fuck with you.
Literally.
But then they started hanging out like daily looking for a perfect Christmas gift for his mom. That was his excuse anyway.
Mhm. He just wanted to spend more time with her. The more he got to know her, he genuinely enjoyed her company, which is fine. Like, you become friends with people that you wouldn't normally become friends with in high school
Yep.
sometimes outside of high school if you're, like, just happen to run into each other. Like, I I hang out with people that I never thought I'd hang out with after high school.
Yep. It just kind of happens because you grow up and you're like, wow, all that shit was stupid. Why did that matter?
Mhm. Literally, like, it's literal high school bullshit.
And so then it jumps back to the present day, and they're at it's the day of like the rehearsal dinner, and she had promised, it's Kira who owns the tree farm, right? Promised Kira that she was
Mhm.
gonna go up to the barn and help, like, get stuff ready and decorate the rest of it. And she's like, "Oh, well, I have to go to my bakery though first and get some stuff done." And all through this time, while they're like trying to work on things together, like she's just like glaring at this poor man.
Who has done nothing. Like, in the adulthood, he's literally done nothing wrong to her
Literal.
other than just exist.
And like now that they're spending time with each other, he's like trying to like talk to her about like the past. Be like, "Oh, remember that one Christmas?" And she's like, "Nope, don't remember it at all. Bye."
Which it was really funny to me how much that hurt his
He was like,
ego.
what do you mean? I thought what we had was special." She's like, "Nope, wasn't that special."
Yeah. And so here he basically set forth to try to not necessarily win her over, but just to at least be able to, like, apologize and talk about it because 'cause they've never talked about it, and that's all he's wanted to do.
Yeah, and I feel like, ugh, This book was such a slow burn in the fact of, like, just trying to figure out what freaking happened. I feel like there was it reminded me so much of, like, how long you had to wait in People We Meet on Vacation to what fucking happened in Croatia. Like, it just took forever to get there. Like,
Yes.
not a bad, like, taking forever, but you're like, "Come on! I just wanna fucking know! Why are you so mad?"
I think that's part of the reason why I read it so fast is because I just really wanted to know, and what he did, it wasn't anything that I made up in my mind.
No. That wasn't what
The
I expected
like,
it to be. That's for sure.
no. So, basically, he had told her this when they started hanging out too, so it's not
Well,
like it was super
that
new information. He
no,
didn't
because like,
blindside her.
in when they, like, were starting to get closer in the past and they were hanging out, she ended up staying the night at his house, like, completely platonic,
Mhm.
and they were, like, laying
Yeah.
there, like, and they're, like, being super vulnerable, like, "Okay, what do you wanna do with your life? What's your
Mhm.
biggest fear in life?" Like, talking about very, like, serious things, and that's when he told her that, like, he wants to go, like, travel the country because he needs to, like, get to know himself better.
Which I think 100% do it. Like, I don't think anybody should never leave their hometown. Like, you definitely should. If you come back, that's fine, you come back, but I think everybody should leave. You need to see what's out there. You need
Especially in
to
small town,
grow as a person. Yeah. Yeah.
because you just get in that little, like, comfort bubble if you don't. And you don't have, like, I don't feel like you get as good of a
You really
grasp
do.
of, like, what real life is.
No, no, you really don't. Even if you just left for a few years and came back and, like, continue that process every so often, that's fine too. Like, you're getting out there, you're doing things. And I thought that was amazing that like, I thought it was amazing that he was so young and he
What
knew that
he
that's
needed.
what he
Yeah.
needed to, like yeah, to find himself and find out what he wants to do. Because initially, his dad was just gonna give the bar to him, and he was just gonna do that, or his mom wanted him to go to nursing school because she was a nurse. Those were his 2 paths made up for him, and he was all, "I don't wanna do either one of those. I want to figure out what I am
Yeah.
supposed to
I wanna
do."
figure out what I wanna
And yeah. And so he told Annie that, and Annie was
supportive.
like, "Yeah, do it.
She helped
Go
him
for
make
it."
a plan of where to
Yeah, she was
go.
being a good supportive friend. I know. So that's why I didn't quite understand or, like, maybe not understand, I guess, side with why she was so mad at
Yeah.
him because, like, it wasn't blindsided because, okay, naturally, they start to develop feelings for each other because 'cause they're spending so much time with one another and, like, pretty intimate time together also. And one night when they're hanging out or no, not one night, one day they're eating at the diner and fucking Annie just goes up to they're talking and she's like, "I think we should have
And he's like,
sex."
"What?" He's like,
He, like,
"I mean,
chokes
I'm
on his
on
food.
board,
He's
but,
just
like, this feels very, very abrupt."
this is very sudden. Because at that point, they had started making out with each other and everything because he developed feelings and he wanted to
And
kiss
they were
her.
keeping it from
And
their
then he
friends
finally
once
asked
their
and she was
friends
like,
started
I think
coming back in town. That it was like their own, like,
yeah.
secret little fling.
Mhm. Which I and Annie was kinda, like, embarrassed by it, which I still don't quite understand
I
why she
think
was, but
I think she was so
whatever.
embarrassed because of, well, she's hated him for 15 years of her life and has made it publicly known to all of her friends. And then all of a sudden, one December, you just decide to start hanging out with him. But you're like, actually, he's not that bad of a guy. I think it was more an embarrassment of, like, her own action.
That's fair. That would make a lot of sense. Oh god. And so before you can even answer the yes or no to her question about having sex, her friend Hazel finds her at the diner and interrupts them. And Annie is like a deer in headlights when she sees her. She's like, "Oh my god, hi." Mac decides to just go home because then I think Logan comes over and he's like, I'm just gonna let you hang out with your friends. Like, you
Yeah.
haven't seen them in a while. He was okay with it and he left and whatnot. And then later on, didn't she
Yeah,
go to
she
his
showed up at
house?
his door.
Yeah. She showed up at his door and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And she was like, "I'm sorry." He's all, "For what?" He's like, "Your friends came back. I was letting
Yep.
you just hang out with your friends." She's like, I mean, the sex
Oh,
thing, and he
that
was like, "Oh." And she's like, You don't have to, it's okay." And he was like, "I never said no." And she's like and then, they go into his house and his room, and then they do the thing. They
they
do
do
it.
it. And
And
then they
yeah.
pops back to, like, present time. Uh, it's the night before the wedding and or the day before the wedding. It was the day before,
Yeah,
and I don't
rehearsal.
remember
Yep.
who told her, but
I think Hazel called
that's
her.
what it was. Logan's grandma went missing. Can't find Logan's grandma. And so she's like, "Well, fuck, I gotta find her. Like, that's like his closest family member. Like, she has to be at the wedding." And so I don't remember where she ran into Matt.
No, he came to her apartment because Logan sent him over
Oh,
there to
his
get his
tie and his
cufflinks.
cufflinks. And so he shows up
Yeah.
right when she's like panicking. She's like, "Oh my god, I gotta look for this
Full-blown
old
panic.
lady, and I gotta find Nana. I don't know where Nana went." And so he's like, "Well,"
Yeah.
in his brain, he's like, "Oh, as an excuse to be able to spend time with you, I'll help you." And she's like, "I don't fucking need your help." He's like, I'm gonna help you anyway. You don't have gas in your car. You don't have time to go do that." And she's like, "God damn it. You're right. I don't have time to do that."
It was, again, one of those, like, "Shit."
Well, fuck. You make a good
You
point.
got me there.
And
Like, "You
yeah.
win this
So
round."
they're like, "Oh," and she's like, "Oh, I think I know where she is. She probably just went into like one of the exercise classes at the gym. Let's go to the gym and see if she's there." And so they go and they're like, she comes in, she walks into the gym. She's like, "We would like to take the senior water aerobics class, please." And the girl at the front desk is like, "You're not a senior."
Clearly, like, they're both 30 years old.
She's like, no." And then Mac's like, "Well, we just want to look at the memberships. Can we get a tour?" And then, like, totally, like,
He starts
yes,
schmoozing her.
smoozing her, like, sweet talking her up to distract her. He's like, "Yeah, we're interested in memberships, blah, 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 blah." She's like, "Oh, let me go get you the papers." And he's like, "Go check the pool."
And at first, Annie's like, "The fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "Go." And
She's
she's
like,
like,
"Oh, I got
"Oh."
it now. It's clicking." And
She made the full
it took
circle.
a
Like,
while.
"Okay, got
Took a
it."
while. And so she goes to the pool
Well
and
put.
she runs into, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. Iris from
Yes.
Strawberry
Yes.
Patch Pancake House.
Yep.
And she like talks to all the gossipy old ladies in their water aerobics, and they're like, "Oh," and they're like, "No, but she mentioned, no, we haven't seen her. Hasn't come today." And they're like, "Okay." And they're like, "Is she missing?" "No, no, no." And none of them believe her. And she's like, "No, no, it's fine. Like, don't tell anybody. Keep your mouth shut."
Like, Logan
Yeah.
can't know. Because that's all she wanted to do. She didn't want Logan or Jeannie
And
to find
stress.
out because she knew that would just send them into a whole spiral.
And
And that's not what you need the
no.
day before your wedding.
And so she's like, "Okay." And so she leaves, and her and Mac leave, and they're like, "Okay, well, maybe she's going to get a coffee. Let's go to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe." And he's like, "Even if she's not there, we'll be able to get coffee, recharge before figuring out where else to look for her." And so
Uh-huh.
they show up to the cafe and they walk in, and I think Jeannie goes to wait in line, or he waits in line and she goes to look around.
Yeah, she's looking around. He's waiting in line, and then he talks to the cashier who's working and just kinda nonchalantly asks if, she's seen Nana today. And she was like, I think she
Yeah.
said yes, and that she went to, like,
Yeah,
the
she went
inn
with
or
Dot
something.
to the inn to go greet like some family that was coming into town.
Yeah. And he was like, "Okay, great, thanks." And then he jokingly, flirtily
If
asks
she
her to be his date at the wedding because he knows it would piss off Annie. And she was like, "Can't, sorry." And I think she
No,
was
she was
engaged,
going
and
on
she
a
just, like,
date
held
with,
up her
oh
hand.
yeah, the guy finally proposed.
Yeah. Yeah. She just, like, held up her hand. She's like, "Sorry, can't.
And
I'm
he's like, "Oh,
engaged."
congratulations."
He's like, "Oh, worth a shot." And then just walks away and tells Annie, he's like, "Okay, let's go." And she's like, "What?
See,
Why?" He's like, "I got
and this was
information."
my favorite part in the book. when the book club was at the coffee shop, and I love, like, the internal monologue on his part, he's like, "Does it really count going to a book club if you've only gone to one meeting?" But, like, I literally, like, laughed out loud when I read this part when the guy was, like, across the coffee shop, like, "Oh, we found another, like, slow burn second chance to love romance that you would really like!" Like, screamed it in the coffee shop.
I thought that was hilarious too. I thought that was so funny too. And like Annie was just like,
"Oh."
"Oh, you're in a book club?"
And he's like, "Let's go."
She's like loving it. She like takes her coffee. She's like, "Tell me more." I loved that part so much. And he's like, "Yeah, no, we really don't have
"No, we
time."
really gotta go. We have plans."
And she's like, "No, we could take 5 minutes to talk about it." I loved that part too. I thought it was so funny. Oh god. Cause yeah, he's like one book, one time, and now I'm a part of the book club.
He's like, "I'm not." She's like, "But you are. You like romances now."
Yeah, she just loved that. So once he finally gets her to walk out of the coffee shop, they start to head to the inn. And I
They
forget what
get
happens
to the
after this
inn
part.
and they walk into the front desk and they're like, "Hey, like, have you seen Estelle? We're just looking for her
Yeah.
for some like wedding stuff. No biggie." And they're like, "No, but like you can check the second floor and you can go check like if there's a family that checked into this room if you want to go check." And her and Mac are like walking down the hall and then they hear a voice and they realize it's Janine's voice. And they hide in the closet.
Yes. So they hide in the closet. Yeah.
And Janine is talking to her mom, and she's like, "I just want everything to go perfect. Like, I don't want things to go wrong. I'm so stressed out about it." And the whole time, Annie's listening, and she's like feeling stressed for her friend. And then Mac is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so close to Annie. I haven't been this close to Annie in so long. I can feel her heartbeat. Oh my goodness, her breath on me."
His inner monologues cracked me
And
up,
they couldn't have been
honestly.
more different. She's like, "Oh my god, oh
Seriously.
my god, oh my god." And he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. She's like, "Oh god, he's so close." Like, just kind of repulsed by it, and he's just like, "She's so close."
But then, like, she, like, doesn't hate it, but just, like, tries to pretend to hate it.
Mhm. Yeah. And then that leads to the really the really bruised ego part where after they find yeah, after they figure out that Dot and Estelle aren't there, they're like, "Okay, well, fuck, what do we do now?" And they're starting to walk out. Oh, no, Annie has to get to her mani-pedi appointment because they have to do that. She's like, "Well, I gotta go. Like, I can't keep looking right now. I have to go do this appointment stuff." And they're walking, and he was like, "Will you please just, like, let me, like, talk to you about this?" And she was like, "No." He's like, "I thought that night meant something to you." And this is where she just goes to hurt him. And she was like, "Well, it didn't." She's like, "Sometimes you just lie about having a good time." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I think you know what I
Yeah,
mean."
and, like, when they were, like, teenagers and they had the discussion, he, like, was like, my mom has, like, taught me it's always important to, like, make sure the other person is satisfied." And so she was like, "Well, I wasn't," which was a lie, and she was just being a
Yeah, and he was
bitch.
literally and he was like, "What do you mean?" And then they have kind of a little heated discussion about it, and he was like, "Let me try again." And she was just like,
No.
"What?" And then she doesn't really get to answer because she has to go run into
Like,
the
she
spa,
literally
and then she,
runs
like, gets
away
away
from
from
it.
him, and she's like literally runs away into the spa. Like, I wish I could see this actually, like, live action happen. So I just wanna see it like, "No!" Just
No!
run
See,
away. That's
I
something
think
I
this
would do.
series would make a really good, like, TV show.
It
Like, not a
would.
movie,
It'd be
but a
so
TV show so
cute.
that you can get, like, everybody in there and see all of these things happening, like, because they all kinda coincide when they're happening. It's not like a
Yes.
sequence event.
Yeah, I think it would be cute too. It would give me, like, Dawson's
Yeah.
Creek vibes, like the small town where you see, like, different points of views from everybody.
Yeah. So then they don't see each other basically for the rest of the day. And after Annie goes and gets her mani pedi, she's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, like, I gotta go to the bakery and finish," because she's doing the treats for the wedding. So they decided her and Janine, like, decided that they're not doing a cake because he doesn't like frosting,
Which
like
is
somebody
fair.
else I know.
I just don't like
Yeah.
cake. There's a
It's the same thing.
difference. I like frosting.
But the cake is the whole point.
Eh.
And so,
I like cake pops.
so they decided that they're gonna make him like a gingerbread house. Then that's gonna be like their wedding cake.
Which I
Was
thought
really
was so
cute.
cute.
What a cute idea.
Yeah, especially because it was like a Christmas time wedding, like
In a barn,
a gingerbread house as a cake. Yes, I want a gingerbread house for my wedding
not a
now.
pie. Both.
Both.
Both is good. So she had to like finish crafting this gingerbread house. And so she's in there and the icing isn't setting or holding in the gingerbread and it's breaking and falling apart. And she's getting real frustrated. And then it switches to Mac's POV and he's leaving the pub and he notices that the lights are on at the bakery. And, he can't not go over there.
Can't control
And
himself.
so he goes and like pounds on the door because it's locked because it's nighttime. And she's like, who the hell is at the bakery? And so she comes out and she sees him through the window. Oh, no, she doesn't see him because it's all foggy because it's cold. She just sees like
It's all
a
fogged up,
man
yeah.
figure. And she's like, who the fuck is outside of the bakery in the middle of the night? Like, why is there a man? And then, like, I feel like she, like, wipes it or something and sees him and she's like,
Yeah, she does that and she's like, "Oh god, what do you
and she
want?"
opens the door, doesn't let him in, and it's like
Again?
snowing outside. And she's like, can I help you? I'm busy. He's like, well, I was just making sure like you're okay. You're the only one here. Everyone else has closed up shop. And she's like, yeah, because I'm fucking busy. I got shit to do for the wedding tomorrow, my guy. Like, where have you been?
Yeah. And he knew and while she's doing the gingerbread house, her inner monologue is going, she's trying to carry this thing by herself when it specifically needs two
That's
people
massive.
to carry. And he was like, and I know you're gonna need help with carrying whatever it is you're making. And then she was like, fuck.
And
You
she's like,
got me
fine,
again.
help me get it into my delivery van. And he's like, no, you're not taking that delivery van out to the farm when it's been snowing like crazy. It will not make it out there. You don't have 4-wheel drive or snow tires. That's not safe. We're going in my truck. And she's like, damn it. Why do you have to be right?
It's literally like, God damn it, you
Like,
got me
fine.
again.
Help me get in the fucking car.
I really loved how angry he got.
How fired up she got.
Yeah, because it was always like logical stuff that he'd be pointing out. She was like, God damn it, fine.
She's like, well, fuck. Whatever.
Like, you got me,
We'll
I
do
guess.
it your way.
He's like all proud because he got his way. He's like, hey.
And she's like actively ignoring him as they're driving out to the Christmas tree farm. And once they get onto like the road for the farm, I pictured it as a dirt road because they said it was like bumpy. And like they hit the first bump and she's like, bitch.
Yeah, have the gingerbread house.
Sorry, I can't control it. I'm driving as slow as I can.
Honestly, I kind of pictured like what my driveway is like, just long like that and just has like all these random
Yes.
bumps. Yeah, so that's how I kind of pictured it.
The never-ending driveway. And so then they finally get up to the barn and she's like, oh, thank God. And then they're like getting ready to get the stuff out of the truck and then like they have another little moment. And then Kira and Bennett walk out and they're like, no, we don't like each other.
And Kira's like, and Kira doesn't buy it for a moment. And like, what I understand from this one, because I haven't read The Christmas Tree Farm or any of the others besides Strawberry Patch Pancake House, what I get from it is Kira is newish to town and she bought the Christmas Tree Farm and was running it.
Yeah,
That's how I
think
understood it. Because Kira didn't know the story between Mac and Annie. She's like, what's your deal with him? Like, you hate him, but you
There's
don't?
no deal.
And she was like, it's complicated. And she's like, well, you can
She's
talk
like,
to
"No."
me. And Annie was kind of opening up to her because she felt it was easier since Kira didn't know
That's
the
true.
past. So she was like kind of sort of doing it, but then Bennett and Mac did something to interrupt, or the cat came in or something like that.
Oh, that's right. They walked in with the cat. They're like, we found these kittens in the cold, but Kira can't keep them because she's very, very allergic. And so then Mac's like, I'll take the cat.
She's sneezing as soon as the cats get near her.
And Annalie's like,
Yeah.
what?
And he was just like, "Why are you taking cats?" He's like, "I've been meaning to get a cat since I moved back."
You're
And
full
she
of
was like,
shit.
"No, the fuck you
You don't
haven't."
want a pet?
And him, being him, he's like, "Well, maybe I do now."
He's like, "Actually, I did want a pet, and now I get 2."
You don't know me. Now I get 2 kitties. And so he, like, he stuffs them in his pocket. This is what they said. I'm like,
See,
"Why?"
I figured he had, like, a Carhartt, so he had, like, the bigger pockets, so they, like, fit better.
Okay, that makes sense. And I was
To
like,
keep
"Why
them
why did you do
warm.
that?" I guess so, but I imagined that Bennett had blankies in the
Yeah,
box
I
for
would have
them.
assumed. It was
Yeah,
a it
but,
was
I
a
mean, that was
tactic,
just my brain.
for sure.
It was cute. It was cute. I would have fallen for that too, so
And so he's like working with these little kittens in his pockets, and they're setting up Christmas trees and putting up string lights and the whole shebang, all while Kira's trying to like fish for more information. And Annie's like, "Mm-mm, not giving it to
it's
you."
like, I can't." Yeah. And then Mac offers to take her home, but she's, like, trying to get out of it, and she's like, "No, I can just stay here at Kira's." And he was like, "But you need all your stuff, you need to do this and that." Bring in more logical stuff, and she was like,
Why? And then he's like, "Well, I can't take you home yet. I need to drop the kittens off and get them settled." And then she's like, "Yeah, I know, you're right. Like, we should get the kittens settled first before I go home." And in his brain, he's like, "Yes, a win. The first win I've had in like forever."
literally, the first win all day too, and, like, I was like 2 steps
Yeah, he's
forward
like,
for
"Fuck."
him with her. He's like, "Oh my god, she gave me this much, I'm gonna take it." Oh god. So they get to his house, and I don't even think he has, like, a litter box or anything set up.
No.
He just, like, "Have
Yeah,
fun,
he like
poop in the
gives them
box, I guess."
food and then puts them in the bathroom. And I think he like puts a towel down or something. And
Yeah.
then they're like talking, and then sparks fly whenever they're by themselves because they can't control one another or themselves around one another,
No,
I should say.
they can't,
And
yeah.
he's like, "Well, now that I have you here, what do you mean you weren't satisfied?" And she's like, "We're not doing this." And he's like, "Well, I feel like I really need to fix this. Like, I can't leave you like this. That's just rude. I need to make up for it and then some for lost time since it's been so long."
11 years.
And she's like, "No, no, blah, blah, blah." And I don't remember how he like ultimately convinced her.
He just kinda started bleeding his heart out, and he's like, "Do you want me to get on my knees and beg?" And
Oh,
so he
that's
got on
right.
his knees, like, begging her, and somehow that, like, turned her on, and then, he just dove right in.
Literally. He had a whole ass meal in the kitchen.
Yep. In his
And
parents' old house,
yeah.
mind you.
But he doesn't live in the basement anymore.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He combined the 2 spare rooms upstairs into, like, one big master room because he didn't wanna sleep in his
I
parents'
don't blame
room, which
him. I would
I
have
get
been
that.
like, that would be weird. I don't want to
I
have
don't blame
sex in
you
the
at
room
all.
that my parents used to have sex in. Like, that's just so weird to think about.
Yeah,
Because that
let's
would be
just
like
not
the
think about
intrusive
that.
thought that would happen, like, right as you're about to have sex with somebody. It would be that, and you'd be like, "Okay, well, actually, we can't
Uh,
do this anymore. Sorry. It's not you, it's me."
literally. So, yeah, then that happens, and then that's pretty much it. And then they go upstairs into his room, and he was gonna go lay downstairs or something, and she was like, "No, wait, will you
Stay
please
with
just,
me.
like, sleep in here with me? I don't wanna sleep by
And he's
myself."
like, "Well, okay.
He's like, "Since you
Since you offered,
asked."
I'm not gonna say no."
Yeah.
And so then
Yeah.
they, like, start doing what they did when they were, like, teenagers, and they're like, "What's your biggest fear? What's your this? What's your that?" And, like, start bonding again.
Mm.
And they, like, fall asleep, and then they wake up the next morning, and they're, like, all happy and cutesy, and they're like, "Oh, man, still gotta find Nana. Who knows where Nana is?" And she's, like, starting to stress about it.
No! She woke up to messages.
I thought she woke up and then she got a phone call, and that's what snapped her back because they were, like, being all cutesy and cuddly still and sweet.
Okay, yeah, I
And
know that
then
was
she
it.
gets a phone call from, like, a random number, and she's like, "Oh, that's weird," but she answers it, and it turns out to be Estelle.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. And she's like, "Oh my god, where have you been?"
She's like, "Oh, we're in, Massachusetts or whatever, like, an hour away." And they're like, "Why are you somewhere else?"
And he was like, "The fuck, why?" And she's like, "I needed to get something for the wedding for Logan and Jeannie." And she's like, "Well, okay, fine. We're gonna come get you because Dot left her headlights on, and so the car battery was dead. So they were, like, stuck at Estelle's, like, cousin's
Yeah,
house, I
and
think?
then it also had, like, was snowing all night, so then the snow got bad too.
Yeah. So, yeah, so their car was just
So
stuck.
then Mac and Annie on another adventure for Jeannie and Logan to get Nana back that they didn't even know about yet.
Yeah. But first they had to stop by Annie's house because she wanted to
Oh, that's
shower.
right. Oh, I literally
Yeah.
just read that part today. So they go to Annie's house and like she's like, I need to shower, and he's like, fine. And so he just like lays down on her bed because he's like, I'm tired. And like the shower turns off, and she's like, you need to close your eyes. And he's like, really? Like nothing I haven't seen before.
Literally. I mean, technically, it is different because it's 11 years later, things changed.
But they literally were laying together naked that morning.
She wasn't naked, she was wearing his t-shirt.
Pretty much naked. He had his face in her crotch. Not even
That's
12
fair.
hours prior.
Valid.
And so she's like, close your eyes. And he's like, really? And she's like, yes, really. She's like, okay, bye. And so, like, he kept his eyes closed, even though he wanted to peek. And she's like, and then she, like, gets on the bed. And he's like, what are you doing? She's like, keep your eyes closed. And he's like, but what's going on? She's like, nope, nope, nope. And she, like, starts touching him. And he's like, and opens his eyes. And she's like, nope, you got to keep them closed. And he's like, well, I'm going to listen because I don't want this to stop.
Oh.
And so, even though they've been in like this big
Literally.
old rush for the last 2 days, she has time to give him a blowjob because that was priority
Mhm.
to finding grandma.
Yeah, and because she just couldn't she saw he was straining in his pants, and she's like, "I couldn't leave you like that all
That's true.
day."
I couldn't leave like that all day. I had to help you out. Sure.
She's very kind. She's
Generous.
very generous.
Not a selfish lover. So they do that. And they're like, okay, let's drive up now to go get Estelle. And so like they're driving up and like being all cutesy, and then they arrive at the house. And they, like, knock on the door, and nobody answers. They're like, "That's weird."
And then Mac's like, "Watch, nobody's gonna be here." And she's like, "Don't say that, they're
They
here."
have to be here, so they knock on the door again, and then this little old lady answers, and Annie's like, "Hi, like, we're just here to come pick up Estelle and Dot," and she's like, "What?" And then Mac's like, "We're here for the other old lady," yelling at her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, come in. Come in."
Oh god. Annie was mortified, but she's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "She
Like,
can't
"I
hear."
gotta do what I gotta do."
And so she leads them in, and Estelle is just like fighting with her about needing to get some family heirloom that everybody in their family is supposed to have on their wedding night. And she was like, "It's been in my family for generations." And she's like, "It's supposed to be mine." And they just start fighting back and
And
forth, blah,
poor
blah, blah.
Dot, she's like, "This has been the last 24
And
hours. I'm ready to go home."
yeah, Dot's just like, "Ugh." And so Annie's trying to diffuse it. And then here comes Mac, just being his
Hello.
charming self. And he's like, "Why don't you just let us take it? And like, she'll give it back or whatever." And she's like,
"You
"Well,
remind me
okay,
of my
since
dead
since
husband."
you asked so nice." Yeah. And she just latches onto him, and he's just like, "Oh God." And Annie's like, "Okay, gonna make fun of
And
him
I'm
for
like,
that
"Oh, I'm
later."
gonna egg this one on."
So they go back and get it, and then they come out, and she hands it
And
over
it's, like,
to
wrapped up.
Estelle,
It's wrapped
and
up.
it's wrapped up. Yeah. And so Annie's like, "Okay, cool, great, you got it. We gotta go. We have a wedding to get to. I need to get ready. He needs to get ready.
Like,
We're
"We
in
gotta
the
go.
wedding."
We're an hour away.
So
Gotta hit the road."
yeah, they load up the car, and Dot being her lovely self, she's like, "Thank you so much." And her cousin's like, "You're more than welcome to come back.
"You?
Estelle's
Not so
not."
much."
Yeah. And Dot's like, "Oh,
"Okay.
okay."
Okay. Bye."
So they load up in Mac's truck, and Annie's like, "So what is it that you needed to
"What is
get,
this
Estelle?"
heirloom?"
And she holds up the heirloom, and it is like a nightie from,
Like, the
I don't even know when, like the
1800s.
1800s or something like that.
Like,
Yeah. And Annie is just like,
she's like, "It brings good luck if the bride wears it on her wedding night when they consummate the marriage. It means the marriage will last."
all of them are trying not to laugh. Like Dot is back there like, "Oh." And Mac is just like, "Uh-huh." And Annie's just wide-eyed like,
Oh. And
and then I forget what happened. Someone says something and they all start laughing, and then Estelle's like, "Why did I
she's
go
like,
get this?"
"Yeah, I don't remember it being like this when I had it." And then they're, like, joking about how, like, it's gonna disintegrate the moment she tries to even, like, put it on because it's so old.
Yeah. Like, it's gotta be, like, super
Oh,
dingy,
yeah,
it's
they're
gotta
like,
be
they
gross.
said, like, the fabric was, like, yellowing because of how old it was.
Yeah, like, ew. So, they all just make a joke about it as they drive
And they're like,
back.
"Please let us watch when you give it to them because we have to see their reaction."
And then Dot and Estelle, being the old ladies they are, they're like, "What's going on between
They're
you
like,
2?"
"Nothing."
And Annie's like, "What? Nothing."
And Mac's like, "Yeah, Annie,
I
what's
forget
going
what
on between us 2? No idea."
Mac eggs it on, and then there's a bunch of people making bets on when they're gonna have sex because they're just like, they're gonna hate fuck.
And the grandmas were in on it. And they're like
Yeah, they're like, "Did it happen?" And she's like, "You guys
they're
too?"
like, "Did I win the bet?" And Annie's like, "No, no one won the bet." And Mac's like, "What bet?" "Nothing."
Yeah. Like, "When you guys are gonna have sex?" And he was like, "Oh." And then Annie's like, "We didn't have sex." And they're just like,
And
"What
then he's like, "Well,
happened?"
some people could consider it." And she's like, "Oh, jeez."
She's
She's
just
like,
like, "Oh
"Get me
god."
out of this car."
With these 2 women who I'm assuming Estelle is like a grandmother to her too because it's Logan's grandma, her best
Yeah,
friend's
and they've been around since they were 5.
Yeah. You're just like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, please let this stop."
So they get back to town and then they're like doing the wedding. And the entire time they're doing the wedding, Mac is basically looking at Annie with like hearts in his eyes. And everybody is noticing. They're like,
Mhm.
dude, could y'all be any more obvious?
Yeah, yeah, the groomsmen are like, "So what's going on there?" And he's like, "What do you mean?"
She's like, obviously something.
He's like, Nothing." Yeah, and they're like, "The way you guys are looking at each other,
Yep.
something happened."
He's like, no, 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 nothing happened.
And he was like, "Hmm." And the guys are like,
Sure, sure,
"Sure,
sure.
sure, 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 sure."
And he was like relieved because when they were standing there, like Annie had like glanced at him and it wasn't the look that he was getting.
She wasn't mean
But
to him.
then when they were walking down, like after the wedding was over and they were walking down the aisle back together, he was like, "Oh, this feels off. Like she feels really tense. What's going on?"
She started to go back into her,
Shell.
like,
Yeah.
hateful Annie ways. Yeah. So she was, like, avoiding him like the plague. And then time for dancing, the reception, and she sees or not Logan, she sees Mac dancing with her sister, and
This
she was like,
motherfucker.
"God damn." Yeah. And it cuts to, like, the sister and Mac, and the sister sees Annie coming. She's coming with a guy, and she's like, "I told
Mhm.
you it would work."
She's the jealous type. She's not gonna let you get away with that.
And he was like, "God, I've just been trying to talk to her forever." And she's like, "Yeah, well, this will
You're
help."
welcome.
I Yeah, and then she walks over with some guy she found, like, randomly just picked up
She's like, "You're dancing with me. It doesn't mean
because he was
anything. You're
making
fine."
googly eyes. Yeah, yeah, because he was making googly eyes at her friend, and he was just like, "But I was looking at her." She's like, I know, just dance with me for a second." He's like,
He's like
"Okay." And then, yeah, Mac finally had enough of seeing that, and he, like, taps him on the shoulder. He's
he's
like,
like,
"May I
"Please."
cut in?" And he's like, "Yeah." Yeah, and then but Annie didn't let him dance with her,
No, they started
right?
dancing, but they were like,
Or did they? Okay.
middle school dance.
She was like, "You gotta stay right there." The 8th grade dance when you're like,
Yeah, and then he finally, like, intertwined his fingers with hers, and they started dancing closer, and that's when they started talking and, like, admitting their feelings for one another finally.
Yeah, because he told her that she has the rest of that night to hang on to her anger, and then they're gonna talk about it. Because he's sick of not talking about it. He's like, "I've been trying for 3 goddamn years, you're
Yep,
gonna
he's
talk
like,
to
"We're
me."
done with this. We're over it." And
Yeah. He's like, "You can be mad for the rest of tonight, but that's it."
and then we finally, like, flash back to the past because we still don't really we flash back before this 'cause I forgot the comment she made before they drove up to go get the grandma because that was a part of it. Because she had made the comment, like, "You never
Uh-huh.
came back for me after you left for the year." Even though I don't get why she was mad because she literally told him, "Don't wait for me. I want you to go." And then he didn't come, but he did
Uh-huh.
come, but he was too scared to go into the diner.
He came And he realized that a year wasn't enough time because he didn't really actually go out and do anything for that year. He spent most of it pretty close by to Dream Harbor. But he was too embarrassed to
And he
tell her
wasn't good
that.
enough for her yet.
So, yeah, he didn't feel like he was good enough for her yet. So he stood outside the diner and like just stood her up basically. And she never got over that. But he didn't know how to tell her because he was so
And
embarrassed about
then
it.
what pushed him away
Because he's like, I
Yeah,
still
and then
don't
what
know.
pushed him away even farther, like, that was, like, on the 23rd of December, and then he was, like, finally like, "No, I need to go talk to her," so he went to a New Year's party that he knew she was gonna be at, and he's like, I'm gonna tell her what
Mhm.
happened, that I was scared," and when he gets to the New Year's party, she was making out and going upstairs with another guy, and he's like, "Well, don't act like you've been all."
Mhm. And he was trying to go
Yeah,
after her.
and he's like, "Well, don't act like I was the only one that was a
Yeah.
problem, like, you also moved on."
But she didn't know he was at the party, and Logan stopped him from going after her because he's like, "Listen, I don't know what fully happened between you guys, but you made her shut down, and she's finally having fun again,
Leave her
so
alone.
just leave her
Just
alone."
go.
And the next day, Mac left again, and he came back occasionally for holidays, and he tried to talk to her every time he came back, but she just
Yeah,
wasn't having it. Or she was conveniently not around.
yeah, avoiding him like the plague,
Yeah, because he would go to her house and, like, try to talk to her, but she was never home
even though she
conveniently.
lived in the town.
Yeah. So that's what we find out, and then he takes her back
Well,
to
but
his house that
wait,
night after the
but
wedding.
wait. They were dancing and he's like, "Come on, like we're gonna go hate fuck."
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "Go get your stuff now." And she's like, "Normally I wouldn't listen, but I'm not gonna
She was just
argue."
like
And so then like they get out to the truck and he like pins her against the truck and they start making out and they're like, "We can't do this here. We gotta go." And then they're driving back to his house, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm not wearing any underwear under this dress." And he's like, "You're not." And so he's like, "All right, well then I'm gonna have some fun while we're driving." And he basically like just leaves her hanging. He's like, "Okay, we're at the house. Bye." Like, don't get the orgasm now. And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, he fueled her rage even more, so he knew he was doing it on purpose. He's like, "I told you we're about to hate fuck."
And he's like, I have to make sure you're fully satisfied, and I had to make sure you were gonna come in the house.
Oh god, again, such a guy thing to do.
And so, like, she's mad at him, and, like, they start, like, just, like, bickering, like, and arguing, and, like, then, like, everything like, that starts to come out, and he's like, "No, no, no, like, we're not talking about this, we have 30 more minutes." And so, they, like, are all over each other, and they, like, are kissing their way up to the bedroom, and then they're, like, about to have sex, and then they both just, like, feelings word vomit
Yeah,
at each other.
which and it needed to happen. Both of them needed to, like, get it out there and just hash it
Yeah.
all out.
And
And
And she, like, told
yeah.
him, she's like, "I don't want to be angry at you anymore."
Yeah.
And so then they have sex. After they have sex, she's like, "So what is this now?"
What does this
Because
mean?
like, I can't go back to what we were before.
Yeah. She can't go back to hating him. She
Just be
can't
friends.
just be his friend. Like, they both can't just be friends, you know? And so he was like, "Well, I guess this
And
means we're
she's like,
together."
"Well, actually, you haven't officially asked me, so we're not." And he's
Mm.
like, "Really?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, I mean, you didn't ask me, so I'm not your girlfriend." He's like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" "Yeah, I suppose." And they're, like, talking, and they're like, "Man, I
Oh
wish, like, we
god.
can just stay in this bed forever, like, I don't wanna like, I just wanna spend time with you in, like, our own little bubble." And she's like, "Well, I don't have to go to work tomorrow." And he's like, "What? You're missing work for me?" And she's like, "Yeah, maybe.
I could take some time off, you know? It'd
Be
be
good
good
for
for
me."
me.
So they, like, spend, like, 2 days together in, like, their little bubble, and then it's Christmas, and there's, like, the town is all big on Christmas, and they go to a big, like, Christmas party with basically the whole town there. And she's like, "Oh my god, people are gonna know we're together,
Mhm.
and it's just gonna be so much, and people are gonna make such a big deal about it, and blah, 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 blah." And he's like, It's okay. Like, we'll be in it together. Like, it's not a big deal." And they walk in and everyone's just like ignoring it. And she's like, "Is no one gonna comment on this?" And they're like, "It's about fucking time. Like, I don't know what you want us to say
And they're like, "We've honestly just been waiting for you guys to, like, realize it
and figure it out.
yourselves before, we send you."
And she's like, "You
Yeah,
guys are jerks.
and she's like she's like, "What the hell?"
You guys are supposed to care about this more."
And then yeah. She's like, "What do you mean? I've hated this guy, like, my whole life."
They're like, "Yeah, we knew it was eventually gonna happen."
She just had to not be stubborn about it. But yeah, that's, basically the
Yeah.
end.
I feel like it, like, pops to, like, 3 months later, and they're, like, still together, doing great,
Mhm. Everything's all hunky dory.
and they work
Yeah.
their shit out.
But I enjoyed this book. I really
I
liked
did
it.
too.
I
Oh,
gave it a
I did not give
5.
it a 5.
It was my first 5 in a while.
Yeah, I don't remember the last one. I gave it a 4. Like, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would wanna, like, sit down and reread it again.
Oh, see,
That's
I
fair.
I would. I really like this one. See, this is like our reverse thing again. Like you felt that way with the
Yeah,
Strawberry Patch Pancake House, and I was like,
yeah, I really like the Strawberry Patch
like
Kids.
it was good. I don't think I'd read it
Me
again.
too.
I liked it too, but it was just one of those where I was
Mm. Yeah, but it was good.
like I'm content reading it just once. It was really good. I really liked it. It put me in a really good like Christmassy
Yeah,
mood.
it made me really wanted to go to that barn
You know?
and see it,
Yeah. Oh my god, that barn
and
sounded
I really wanna make
beautiful.
gingerbread cookies now.
Oh my god, I know. I know. I was
You
on
are.
theme today. It's a ginger. Well, the unicorn's not, but it's a
It's a
cool shirt.
cool shirt, and there's a gingerbread man on it,
It's happy
gingerbread girl on
holiday.
it.
Yeah, gingerbread man. Yep, both Sam and I's nails are
Yeah, they
gingerbread
are.
themed. So, yeah,
See?
here we are. But yeah, that's the Gingerbread Bakery. I I would definitely recommend it. It's a really good
I think it
Christmas
is a
read.
good seasonal read. Like, I normally have a pretty hard time, like,
Yeah.
I don't love seasonally reading because a lot of times I feel like they're just too corny or just, like, really campy, but that one was good because it had enough of, like, the Christmas in it. It wasn't like a stereotypical, like, Hallmark movie book.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't I have a hard time with Christmas seasonal reads, but I really, really liked this one. It wasn't like
Yeah,
punny, you know?
I agree.
So that's why I was okay with it. It was like it had the right amount of Christmas in it. It wasn't like overly throwing in your face that it was
Yeah.
Christmas time, like some of them do.
Yeah, it wasn't, like, the primary focus. It was the wedding that was the primary focus.
Yeah, like a Christmas themed wedding, which again, that sounds
Yeah, it
beautiful
does.
too. Especially like the way I'm envisioning the barn, like I just want to
Yes,
be at this barn,
me too.
you know? I'd be interested to see what the coloring book for this
Oh,
book is
probably
gonna
so
look
pretty.
like.
I want it.
Yeah, I might get it.
Yeah,
Because I know there's
pumpkin
one for
spice,
the Pumpkin
yeah,
Spice Cafe. Yeah.
but I won't get that one because I didn't like that book. I'm really curious to see how you like it once you get through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm reading it pretty slowly, not because I'm not interested in it, but it's just kind of my
Well, you were
background
reading,
book.
like, 3 other things at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading Nightmare Before Christmas, and my main focus is on that. And I read the Pumpkin Spice like when I'm laying down in bed before I fall
Okay.
asleep. So that's why I call it like my
The
background book.
background book. Yeah,
It's the book that I'm like I pay attention to, but not it doesn't have my sole focus.
that's fair.
But yeah. But yeah, that's all
No,
I have on this
me
book, I
too.
think.
Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram and like and subscribe on YouTube and follow, subscribe wherever you can listen to podcasts because we're on like basically everything at this point.
Yes. Except we're
No.
no longer on TikTok because we got
Yep,
banned
for our pumpkin spice pie.
for throwing a pie in somebody's face, for talking about it. We're not even visualizing it, just talking about it.
Yeah. So we're no longer on TikTok and we
Make
decided
it
we're not
make
gonna
sense.
make a new one. So
Yeah, it was too much of a headache. So we're just sticking to Instagram and YouTube and just eh.
all of our uh podcast places. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah. Thanks for tuning in
But
to another
yeah,
week.
so
And we will catch you
yeah.
next week with our final Christmas theme book
Yep.
this
Of the
of the
season, of
year.
the
That's
year.
crazy.
I know.
Yikes.
Yep. Big yikes.
But we hope you guys are
Oh
having a
god.
good holiday season, and we will catch you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye guys.